This week's Smash Beer 400 was supposed to be the season opening race, but as we all know, Mother Nature decided to say otherwise. We were also supposed to be at the Dallas Speed Park, but apparently that track is having some severe financial issues. It's quite a shame because that track just opened up this year. So instead, we are here at the Houston Supercell for a pair of 92-lap races. The Team Master Cup Series has run at this track a couple of times, and we've even got a few Master Cup drivers in the field today. Tom Delgado, Ryan Matthews, and Vijay Pushanda, who is back in the pie car this week. Alex Carson took the Cromwell Pole Award for round number 1. We have a couple surprises up front. Lane Cranston qualified on the outside front row, and Trey Ashby is third. Ashby had a decent run at the Mini Indy 500 before getting taken out in an accident, and Ashby is going for the lead right out of the gate. Laura Cyrus is third. She just moved into second in the point standings, and Yevgeny Kuznetsov is currently going for fifth. Kuznetsov failed to qualify for the Mini Indy 500, as did Alex Carson, who is really coming under attack from Ashby. But coming off the final corner, Carson has the momentum, and he will lead the first lap of the race. But it looks like Ashby's going to get him coming through 1 and 2. Ashby does have the preferred line, and Ashby will clear Carson. I would look out for that Brinson Engineering car today. He looks very fast. Shifting our focus to the middle of the pack, Allie Riggs comes flying into turn 3. She gets into Todd Stater, which in turn stuffs Jared Worth into the wall. Allie Riggs, what are you doing? What made you think that move was going to work? There's some very significant damage to that 08 car. The Soda brand Graphite Max recently bought out the ARC racing team and rebranded that car. They kept Jared Worth in the seat, though. I'd have to say that's a pretty nice paint scheme, and it's a shame to see it get torn up so early. Alex Carson has just taken the lead back from Trey Ashby. Ashley Tucker, who won the rookie shootout, is currently in third. Tucker is trying to bounce back from her accident at Indy, and she's doing a pretty nice job of it at the moment. Derek Dudding is about to go a lap down to Alex Carson, and we are only on lap number 7. Dudding has been complaining all season that his cars are too slow. Yeah, the cars are too slow. Okay, you don't buy that, do you? Nope. Trey Ashby took the lead once again, but he is about to come under attack from Ashley Tucker. But first, we've got to deal with the lat car of Holden Roberts. Roberts holds up the 12 and allows the 57 to sweep into the lead, and now Carson is coming back around the 12 for second. The first caution came out on lap 13 as Isaac Leitner has a little bit of trouble negotiating a 3-wide situation. He gets up into the wall, slides back down the track, and gets clobbered by Paul Lyons. Leitner goes for a wild ride, but thankfully he would climb out of that 7 car okay. But he certainly did not need this after failing to qualify for Indy. And then after the restart, a stack-up caused by Derek Dudding results in Lawrence Berg getting turned into the wall and taking a few other cars with him, namely Mac Ryland and Yevgeny Kuznetsov, who keeps pushing the 9 down the track as he tries to get away. After the restart, Alex Carson comes after Ashley Tucker for the lead. I saw Carson chatting with Tucker before the race, and she didn't look too comfortable. And I don't think that's going to sit too well with Tom Delgado when he hears that. It's been established a while ago that those two are an item. All personal stories aside, the third caution came out on lap 24 as Rachel Rainsford gets together with Chris Winter, and that takes both her and Holden Roberts into the wall. Ellie Riggs piles into the side of the 55, and here comes Derek Dudding barreling in. He slams into the back of the 39 of Namimura. Dudding was well behind this wreck and had plenty of time to avoid it, but he just decided to slam into the back of the 39. But to the relief of the rest of the field, this is going to take Dudding out of the race. Yevgeny Kuznetsov and a few other cars stayed out while the leaders pitted, and Kuzi leads on the restart. Mac Ryland, Barton Sandy, and Todd Stater were the other cars that didn't pit. The first car that did pit was Kurt Walker, who took 2 tires while everybody else took 4. And here comes Mac Ryland around Kuznetsov for the lead. And Mac Ryland's got a bit of damage from a previous incident, so it's good to see that he's still fast. There is a huge stack up behind the leaders, and as a result, Brenda Riggs is going to get turned head-on into the outside wall. And that takes Alex Carson with her. Carson had a great run going in the early stages, but pit stops set him back, where he was vulnerable to an accident like this. Carson keeps going, but Brenda Riggs is done. Jason Bates inherited the lead after a number of cars pitted, but he is not quite on pace with some of the faster cars, so Trey Ashby has no problem getting around the 51, and Tucker in the 57 immediately follows for second. Kurt Walker in the 98 car is running in 5th. Walker has been very fast in his few races this year, but he always blows up before he can capitalize. Hopefully he'll have some better luck today, especially considering that this is his home race. The Walker family is heavily concentrated in Texas. Chris Winter is currently running in the 11th position, trying to hold off Makoto Yamada in the 22. The Leadlighter Racing team has shown some promise this year. I believe it was Lucas Flint who put that car in 3rd at Road America. There have been rumors about that team going full-time in 2013, with Chris Winter driving in the oval races and Lucas Flint in the road course races. Alex Carson has fallen a couple laps down after getting his damage repaired. It's very unfortunate that he got caught up in that accident. He has not won a race since 2009, and that was only his 2nd victory. His first came all the way back in 2007. Kurt Walker is enjoying a battle for 3rd with Bill Tissam. Tissam's got the preferred line, but Walker's been doing a very good job at holding him off. Actually, based on what we've seen at this track in the past, it's not very common for people to be able to use the inside line. So this is definitely something new that we've been seeing, but I think Tissam would disagree with you because he has so much trouble getting by the 98. The next caution would come out on lap 44. Lane Cranston has blown up in front of a few of the lead lap cars, and a big crash ensues among the drivers trying to avoid him. Bigsby Foot goes for a wild ride. Greg Woodard is involved. Mac Rylan also got some huge air. Bigsby Foot really did not have anywhere to go. Barton Sandy bounced in front of him, and then he gets flipped over by his teammate, Rip Tyler. Tiffany Matthews in the 116 also got a little bit of damage when she clipped the 16. Kurt Walker has blown up under caution. That's pretty typical of Walker's season. I think 3rd place is a curse for Walker. I believe he was running up there when he blew up at Indy. We got another caution after the restart as Todd Stater stacks up the field. Laura Cyrus gets into the back of Bill Tissam and spins him up into the wall, right in front of Namimura. So these last few laps have been pretty miserable for Kurt Walker Motorsports. Walker blows up and now Mura gets into another accident. A cycle of pit stops under the previous caution has put Joseph Howard and Michael Madrigal up front. Howard's teammate Kyle Gaffigan is 3rd, and Ebenezer Quiggles Jr., who won last week, is 4th. Quiggles hasn't been running all that well today, and he only got up to that 4th spot because he was cycled up there. But as long as he stays in the race, I don't think he should be too worried, because he does have that 102-point lead over Cyrus. But here comes Ashley Tucker and Trey Ashby flying through the field, and Tucker is going to move back into the lead with almost no problem as Alex Carson gets turned by Kyle Gaffigan. I guess Gaffigan doesn't have much patience for lap cars today, but Tucker and Ashby, after getting shuffled back through the field, prove that they still have some very fast cars. The battle for 9th heats up between the 2 points leaders, Ebenezer Quiggles and Laura Cyrus. Rachel Rainsford is right there in 11th, and she's got some pretty significant rear-end damage. Rainsford joins the fight as Cyrus tries to nose ahead of Quiggles coming off the final corner, and she will clear him for the position. Darren Grant is currently running 5th. This has been one of his better runs of the year. The rookie is running very quietly in the top 20 in points. That's got to be pretty good for his confidence, but Laura Cyrus, who's running right behind him, is trying to chase him down. She gets a pretty good run into turn 3. Oh, look out, Jason Teller's in the wall, off of 4, and Cyrus made contact with the 47. That's going to set her back a bit and trying to get by Grant. Michael Madrigal in the 64 sees an opportunity and sweeps by Cyrus for 6th. Nicole Moreno has blown up after a dismal race, which saw her get into an accident, and the team had to remove the front end from that car. Michael Madrigal has also blown up after he has a top 10 run going. The M&J unreliability strikes again. Darren Grant has moved up to 4th, approaching 10 laps to go, but he's got a few hungry cars right behind him. Cyrus is 5th, Gaffigan is 6th, and Rachel Rainsford is 7th, although she is trying to battle Kyle Gaffigan at the moment. And here comes Gaffigan with a run on Cyrus. He wants 5th, and now he is coming after Grant for 4th. That is Joseph Howard running in 3rd right ahead of this battle, and I think they're actually catching him. Gaffigan slides into the corner, and I think he may have made contact with the 20. Gaffigan is still trying to complete the pass on Grant with Laura Cyrus breathing down their necks. And it looks like Gaffigan's going to clear Grant coming off of the corner. The ex-Formula Overdrive driver has not been having too much success in his rookie season, but he has had the occasional bright spot, such as his duel to the win with his teammate Joseph Howard at Daytona. And Laura Cyrus just made an opportunistic move. Gaffigan moved down to block, but he thought otherwise because doing so would have wrecked them both. And now we've got the lat car of Namimura coming up. Who is she going to impede? looks like Gaffigan gets held up by the 39, and Cyrus moves into 4th. Ebenezer Quiggles has fallen back to 12th. He's got Allie Riggs in front of him. Jason Bates, who is making a move on Quiggles, is off the lead lap. Oh yeah, and here comes the leader, Ashley Tucker. Tucker has moved into a commanding lead over this long green flag period and has been lapping cars left and right. She now puts Quiggles a lap down and is working on lapping Jason Bates and Allie Riggs. Now, Riggs and Tucker are teammates, but I wonder just how willing Riggs would be to just let Tucker go. Well, there goes Tucker making it 3 wide to get by the both of them. So, I guess Riggs doesn't mind being put a lap down by the 57. Unfortunately, the race would end under caution with just 2 laps to go as Jason Teller just doesn't pay any attention and drifts into the 39 of Mura, sending himself spinning down the front stretch. This would mean that Ashley Tucker, winner of the rookie shootout at the beginning of the season, is going to come across the line to take her first ARLA Elite Series victory. Trey Ashby finishes a very impressive 2nd with that small team. Joseph Howard and Kyle Gaffigan scored top 5s for MRD Motorsports. Howard especially has needed that after failing to qualify for Indy. I believe that this is Darren Grant's best career finish. Rachel Rainsford finishes 6th after not having too much success so far this season. Laura Sires is 7th. She gained 10 points on Ebenezer Quiggles, who finished in 12th. Andy Pearson is 8th. Jacob Eichholz showed a little bit of that speed that he had last season. He finished in 9th. And Makoto Yamada grabs another top 10. Now on to round number 2, where Speed Vision has swept to the front row. Krikorian takes the pole, and Finkelberg is on his outside. And David Krikorian gets a great start. Here comes Kevin Monroe coming after Finkelberg for 2nd, and Krikorian extends to a comfortable lead at the end of the first lap. Jacob Hartson is back in the number 85 Team Empire car this week. He drove this car in the rookie shootout and was supposed to race in the season opener as well, but the team retained him for when the race was rescheduled. And oh, Patrick Henderson gets into the back of the 85 car. He probably thinks that Hartson is holding him up, but they're both well off the pace, so that's just the pot calling the kettle black. Leslie Riggs is coming after Kevin Monroe for 2nd. She's obviously still got some momentum from her awesome 5th place run at Indy last week. I think the M&J and Riggs cars were extremely lucky that their cars held together for the most part. That race was quite the test of reliability, and I would have expected them all to blow up after the first 200 laps. I was about to say that perhaps their engineers learned a few things from that race, but since Michael Madrigal blew up in the last round, I think they should still be very concerned. Phil Summers is doing a good job hanging on to a spot in the top 5 in the opening laps. It's interesting how each of the Griesberger cars have had different degrees of success this year. Casey Campbell has won a race, Lawrence Burr is good for some top 15 finishes here and there, but Phil Summers has really been struggling. Now Summers is facing a little bit of pressure from Herbie Finkelberg for 5th, but here comes the lap car of AJ Young to shake things up a bit. He holds up Leslie Riggs, and Phil Summers slips into 3rd in an opportunistic move. And then David Krikorian would encounter Barney Ward, who is still, well, just as slow as ever. And here comes Kevin Monroe. Herbie Finkelberg is up to 3rd. He is following Monroe on the inside line. And this is going to bring a couple other cars into the mix, namely Tyson Lautenschlager and Zachary Zins. And now Herbie Finkelberg slices down to the inside for the lead. Monroe slid up the track a little bit, and Finkelberg went for it. We've got 7 cars in this battle for the lead. It's looking a lot like a super speedway race. Lautenschlager dives into the corner. He's trying to make something work. Lautenschlager in the 4 is up to 3rd. And now here comes Krikorian on the inside of his teammate. And Krikorian is going to complete the pass on his teammate to take the lead back. This will be Carlo DePreto's last run in the MRD 26 before becoming a full-time test driver for that team, but he is currently running in 9th place in between Benji Flynn and Casey Campbell, so DePreto is making very good use of this last race, just in case some other opportunities come knocking for him. A few of the lead cars will get held up by the 97 of Jacob Gregory. Benji Flynn sees some positions with his name on them, and he dives into the first corner, taking Gregory, Finkelberg, and Lautenschlager into the wall. Just to clarify, that was turn 3, not 1. And that was the same sort of dive bomb we saw from Allie Riggs in the last round. Again, I'm not too sure what's making people think that they can pull off a big pass like that. Zachary Zins leads on the restart. He got shuffled to the front due to pit stops. Phil Summers is 2nd, and Leslie Riggs' crew did a great job to keep her in 3rd. Zins is coming off of an 8th place finish at the Mini Indy 500, albeit he was 2 laps down. As we mentioned before the race, Team Master Cup Series driver Tom Delgado is competing today, but he is not quite having the performance that we would expect from a winning Master Cup driver. He is currently 15th at the moment, although he is now trying to overtake Le Gruel for 14th, and Ricky Navarro is breathing down Delgado's neck as well. But Delgado will be able to hold off Navarro, and coming into turn 3, he pulls off an impressive move on Le Gruel to take 14th. Back up front, Zachary Zins still leads over Leslie Riggs. Tyson Lautenschlager fell a lap down. It's kind of a shame because Lautenschlager had a great start to this race. David Krikorian would be coming up towards the front once again. Krikorian had one of the fastest cars in practice, and he still got that speed, as you see Leslie Riggs now going for the lead. That was a brilliant move she put on Zins, and here comes Krikorian to take advantage of this battle. He's still trying to work his way under Zins going into turn 3, but then Zins gets a huge run on the outside and pokes his nose ahead of Leslie Riggs, and he will actually clear the 50 to take the lead back. The Griesberger cars of Phil Summers and Casey Campbell battle for 5th. I think Summers' luck is starting to turn around for once. He's still hanging up there, but Kevin Monroe is right behind this battle, and he'll be sure to take advantage as these two slow themselves down. Zachary Zins has got a problem, and he has to pit from the lead. What a tough break for Zins in the 99. A1 Racing has had a few good runs this year, but things just happen that prevent them from capitalizing. And I see Herbie Finkelberg coming into the pits as well. He's got some kind of problem too. So with Zins out of the picture, this is the battle for the lead. Kevin Monroe and Bob Steffens. Steffens is having a brilliant run in the 211 car. He has yet to win a race in his ARLA career, but right now Kevin Monroe is all over him, and here he comes to the inside, approaching turn number 3, and Monroe will complete the pass. The second caution came out on lap 35 as Scott Morelsch turns Ricky Navarro, coming off at turn 4, collecting Edwin Schwartzlowski and sending the both of them spinning. And Le Gruel clips the 66 car. That is going to take Gruel out of the race, but Schwartzlowski keeps going. Coming back to the caution, Ben Atkins turns the 0-2 of AJ Young into the grass. I guess Atkins got tired of dealing with Young, but Young somehow keeps the car straight and merges safely back onto the track. Bobby Porto leads on the restart after pit stops under this caution, but watch Barney Ward in the 92. He pushes up the track into Kevin Monroe, takes both of them into the wall, right in front of everybody. Several cars pile in. AJ Young, Patrick Henderson, Casey Campbell. A great race comes to an end for a couple of people, most notably Monroe and Campbell. I don't know what Ward was doing because it didn't look like he had a tire going down into the corner. And Monroe's going to get clobbered by a couple of people. Casey Campbell and AJ Young really have nowhere to go. Monroe and Campbell are on track for some badly needed results, but they're not going to get them today because of some people who just shouldn't be in a race car. Coming back to the caution, Vijay Pashanda gets pinched by Eric Jackson and helped around by Jessica Graham. He would keep going without any damage, though. But this is what had us scratching our heads. Lucas Sweeney pulls into Tom Delgado right as they take the caution, and that spins Tom Delgado up into the wall. Now, I hadn't seen or heard of any altercation between those two during or before the race, so I think Lucas Sweeney just wasn't paying any attention at all for some reason. And you can bet Delgado's not going to be happy at all about this. And he's not going to be happy about this either, as Kiriki Hitsuno blows her engine shortly after taking the caution, and so does Nick Howard right behind her. Lucas Sweeney was immediately ordered to meet with race control after the race. After that series of messes right there, Bobby Porto continues to lead on the restart with Leslie Riggs in second, and Nikos Kostopoulos has made his way up to third. Kostopoulos is looking at his first top 5 finish of the season. We got another caution on lap 45. Watch Carlo De Brito. He hooks the lap car of Herbie Finkelberg, which takes Eric Jackson into the wall and sends a few other cars spinning. I saw that Ward and Schwartzlowski got a piece of that. Here's another look at it, focusing on Barney Ward. He got into the 3-car and spins into the inside wall. Lucas Sweeney and Libby Bell were also collected in this incident, so I guess that's karmic retribution for Sweeney. Bobby Porto continues to lead on the restart with Leslie Riggs chasing him down. Now Porto got shuffled to the front after pit stops, but his car is obviously strong enough to stay there. Porto already has a win this season for the Mitchell & Sons team, which fields a couple cars in the TM Master Cup Series, and I believe that team has a technical alliance with M&J Racing because Chris Johans drives for them in Master Cup. But what that also means is that Porto has been plagued with some of the mechanical difficulties experienced by the rest of the M&J and Riggs Armada. But so far, the 2010 Series champion is having a very smooth ride. Ryan Matthews is currently running 7th, and he is faring much better than his wife Tiffany. Although the last time he ran a race, which was at Carbondale, the both of them did not make it past the first corner. He currently has the Riggs cars of Harry Asinola and Ricky Navarro battling in front of him. He's going to try to look to take advantage of this. And here comes Matthews with a run on Navarro for 6th. Just ahead of this battle, Seiju Dejiao is currently running in 4th, and he's on track for a good finish for once. Yeah, he got 2 wins in his rookie year, but ever since then he's been in a perpetual slump. That's what got him dumped from MRD Motorsports, and he hasn't been too much better at Kurt Walker's team. The caution came out again on lap 55 as Eric Jackson gets into the back of Jessica Graham and pushes her all the way through the corner until she spins into the wall. It looked like Graham slid up in front of Jackson a little bit and he might have gotten angry, but if that's the case, I think he needs to get his head checked. Leslie Riggs took the lead back from Bobby Porto before the caution, but here comes Porto around Leslie Riggs for the lead once again as they try to put Zachary Zins back a lap down. Leslie Riggs is doing a good job holding off Porto despite having Zins in front of her, but they've got to watch out for the 32 of Krikorian right behind them. Krikorian makes a charge around the outside of Porto as Riggs gets by the 99. And then Krikorian is going to come after Riggs now. He gets a big run into the corner and almost slides into the 50's door, but he doesn't. I think a few drivers here could learn from the 32 about how to take that corner properly. And Krikorian, who still seems to have the fastest car of the day, slides into the lead once again. But here comes Riggs. She's trying to fight back, but Krikorian gets another big run into the corner, and he clears the 50. James West is having a good 10th place run in that 69 car so far. West is rumored to be retiring at the end of the season, and on top of that, the Carl's team is looking to be absorbed by an existing team, and his teammate Jason Bates, we believe, is most likely to go wherever Carl's goes. But in the meantime, West is currently trying to hold off Scott Morales in the 78. A couple spots ahead of West is Gary D'Souza in the 149. Aside from D'Souza getting his first win at Road America, the White Barreldas team has really been struggling. D'Souza has been running midfield for the most part, and Jarko Forstrom has been nowhere. So that team will definitely be hoping that the 149 car can hold together and get a good result. Leslie Riggs is about to come under attack from Bobby Porto, who uses the 85 car of Jacob Hartson as a pick. Bob Steffens fell a lap down earlier, and he's trying to get by Riggs for some reason. Attention Bob Steffens, those cars are on the lead lap. Please back off. Jacob Hartson is also not being very courteous, and he only lets the 50 go now. Ryan Matthews is slowly moving up through the field as the laps wind down. He is currently up to 5th. The Matthews team is finally going to get another good result if the 106 car can hold together. In the meantime, David Krikorian has extended out to a commanding lead over the rest of the field. He is looking to score the second win for his own team this season. Oh no, he's got a problem! Krikorian gets taken out of the lead with a cut tire. That can't be good morale for Speed Vision. Both of their cars got taken out at Indy, and now mechanical problems take them both out of contention. Both Krikorian and Finkelberg would finish the race, but they would be off the lead lap. In the meantime, this handed the lead over to Bobby Porto, who holds a comfortable lead over Leslie Riggs in second, and Porto would remain unchallenged in the final laps as he brings his car to the line to take his second victory of the season for the Mitchell & Sons team. Leslie Riggs had another fantastic run to finish in second, but I'm sure with a few more laps, she may have had something for Porto. Seiji Dejiao gets one of his best finishes of the year with Kurt Walker Motorsports. He finished in third. Ryan Matthews' fourth place is the best result of the 3 Master Cup drivers in attendance today. Nikos Kostopoulos continues to improve this season. He finished in 5th today. That's his best career finish so far. Gary D'Souza climbed a few more positions all the way up to 6th. Harry Asinola and Ricky Navarro get Riggs Motorsports a couple more top 10 finishes, so it's a great day for Riggs Motorsports, with Ashley Tucker winning the first round. James West brings home the Carl's car in a very impressive 9th, and then Scott Morales rounds out the top 10. It's about time the Groves Racing Machine got another decent result. And now here are the point standings leaving the Smash Beer 400. No surprise, Ebenezer Quiggles still holds a commanding lead over Laura Cyrus, but Cyrus is chipping away at that lead a little bit. And then it's quite a ways back to third place Herbie Finkelberg. You have Jenny Kuznetsov remains in fourth, but Ashley Tucker jumps all the way up to fifth with her victory. In fact, she is tied for that position with teammate Leslie Riggs, but Tucker gets the tiebreaker. David Krikorian is seventh. He could have improved upon that position had he not had that cut tire. Eric Jackson is bumped down to 8th, Alex Carson is 9th, and Rybert Scott gains a position and moves into the top 10. Libby Bell is 11th. She got caught up in an accident in the second round. Darren Grant is up to 12th. Grant had a very impressive run today. Bobby Porteau is up to 13th with his win. Bigsby Foot 14th. Andy Pearson is 15th. Ricky Navarro 16th. Joseph Howard is 17th. He has moved back into the top 20 despite failing to qualify for Indy. Tiffany Matthews 18th. Kyle Gaffigan is up to 19th, and Todd Stater breaks into the top 20 despite the troubles that the 15 team has had this season.